Hi everybody, thank you for watching Nibbles on Flicks. This is your host Jeff Reed. Don't forget to subscribe and like our video. Help us grow our channel up to 1,000 subscribers. In this video, we'll be discussing all the TV movie news that came out this past week. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with his new movie. He is shipping around Hollywood right now, trying to find a distributor. Also some shocking Bond news that came out that has very changed the game when it comes to the Bond franchise. And also some DC and Marvel news. So let's get right into it. Let's have some fun. Some big news for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Emily Blunt, as they are working on the film right now, and they've got two big names actually attached to the film now, and that's Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio. They are attached as producers, so there's really no more information about it, as the film has not been written yet, so there's no script, and there's also no information if Martin Scorsese is going to direct or if Leonardo DiCaprio is actually going to be in the film. But however, right now they are working together, trying to get a studio to actually greenlight the film so they can actually get the film made. The movie is basically based on a real life figure who was a Hawaiian crime boss, so we're assuming The Rock's going to play that role. But it's very exciting for news for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This is a big project that he wants to get done. He has this A24 movie that's coming up pretty soon this year, so some big things are coming out for him. So hopefully this movie gets actually made and actually produced, and if they can get Leonardo DiCaprio in the film and Martin Scorsese to direct, this is going to be a big win for The Rock and for Emily Blunt. So let's see what happens with it. Huge Bond news for all the Bond fans out there is now the Hollywood Reporter is reporting that Amazon MGM Studios has taken full control of all the Bond franchise creativity. So now they can do basically anything they want. And how this became is basically, if you haven't been following the whole story between the Broccoli family, who owned and created the Bond franchise, and Amazon MGM, who purchased the rights for it, they've been going back to back forth, fighting each other publicly, saying the other side doesn't know what they're doing with the character, they don't understand the character, and basically just slowing down any type of productivity of actually making a new Bond film and starting a new series. Well, Amazon MGM has deep pockets, and they basically gave $1 billion to the Broccoli family to go away, basically. But the Broccoli family still owns 50% share of the Bond franchise, which is very interesting that they just paid the Broccoli family just to go away so they can start production on a new Bond series. And unfortunately that happened, but things were getting to the point where it seemed like we were never get a Bond movie ever until someone gave in and sold their rights. So this is actually pretty good that we finally got some kind of concrete situation where now we know who has creative control. There won't be no fighting back and forth between the two parties. Broccoli family will let them do whatever they want to. When you get $1 billion, you can do that. You can go do some charity work and have some fun and live your life, and drink mimosas and martinis all you want. So I think this is a great opportunity for Amazon. I think actually Jeff Bezos put a poll out on Twitter, X, and said, who do you guys like to be the next Bond? And over amount of people were saying they were like Henry Cavill. I think that would be a great opportunity for Henry Cavill to play Bond. He was actually in the running for that for years ago. For me, however, I would like to see them do something else. I like to see him do like an origin film, get like a younger actor to come in and play Bond while he's in the Navy. We could see him go through the ranks in the Navy and then go through 007 school and become an agent and go that way, where you can have this character actually grow throughout the years. And when you pick a younger actor to do that, you can have time to build all these type of films where you can see them at the beginning point till eventually they kill off Bonds, usually at the end of the series anyway. So that'll be pretty good to get 7-8 films out of that person, and I think that'd be great. But I like Henry Cavill too. I think that'll be an awesome opportunity for him, and I think those movies would be great too. Maybe they can start off with him first, and then while they can figure out this whole young naval soldier up to 007, they can figure out how to do that in back burner. But this is also gives them an opportunity to do other things too. They can do TV shows, spin-offs, and try to expand the universe as well. And they can also put that on Prime, and that could be also opportunities to actually grow the universe of Bond. And all around, I think this is a great opportunity for everyone, and I'm actually excited to see what they do. And maybe at CinemaCon they'll actually give us some kind of ideas what plans they have in mind already. So let's see what they do with this. Some DC news now. Now, if you don't know, I'm a huge DC fan. I love Marvel too. I love them together like this. I'm not like this with any like Marvel and DC. I actually love Marvel and DC the same. A little bit, maybe a slight edge to DC, but I love both comic books. I grew up reading and watching the cartoons and became a big fan of both of those brands. But let's do some DC news now. Now, a certain picture came online and everybody's going nuts with it. Well, it was a picture between James Gunn and Zack Snyder. Now everyone wants to know what's going on. They were outside the writer's room. Is there any possibility at all that Zack Snyder's coming back to DC? Maybe. He could be. Or maybe he was there on the lot in WB and he just ran into, or maybe went to visit James Gunn. James Gunn told him to come over to the studio and take a picture and hang out a little bit. It could be anything. But I think this could be a good thing. I wasn't a huge Zack Snyder fan of those films. However, I think when he's not writing the script, when he actually is focusing on directing, he does amazing jobs when it comes to film. So I think if they can find, if anything comes wrong with this, anything comes in fruition between this picture, if they can find very good writers to write a script, and maybe it could be a Batman movie, maybe it could be an Aqua movie, or anything. Just make sure the script is spot on. And then you can bring Zack Snyder to bring in his vision of that script. And I think you got a knockout movie right there. And something that DC fans, all DC fans, even if the people who didn't like Zack Snyder's DC films, and of course the people who love those Snyder films, we all could come together and say, this is a good film because we got great writing with a great writing team, and we got the great visuals and action pieces when it comes to Zack Snyder, and you put that together and make an amazing film. So I'm excited if something comes to fruition or not. It's good to see that, hey, even though if nothing comes out of this, they're both basically saying, hey, we're a team here. We love DC. We love DC Comics. Let's stop with this whole separating the fan base. Let's come together and support DC as one. So I'll absolutely love this. More related to DC news, Constantine sequel was actually pitched to DC Studios and was green light for a script, according to Keanu Reeves. This sequel has been in and out of production, pre-production, trying to get the script down for like over a decade. I'm not a real fan of the first Constantine movie. I felt like it really wasn't as much as a comic book accurate film, but it still is a cult classic. People like that movie. They love that film. I'm not just one of those people. However, maybe with the new writers that actually are writing the script, they can make it a little bit more comic book accurate. And you got to remember, James Gunn still has to approve the script, and I actually love that process that they're doing in DC. You can write a script as much as you want. If it doesn't get approved, it's not going to go into production. So the script has to be right in order to move on, and I think that's a fantastic way. And like I said, as long as they make a good story, and we all know Keanu Reeves is going to be very good as Constantine. Maybe they'll give him more dialogue. Maybe they'll make it a little more dark and grounded, and how Constantine is really a dirtbag, but he's really a hero, and he drinks a lot, smokes a little bit, and kind of take advantage of situations, if you know what I mean. But maybe we can finally get something that's close to comic book accurate when it comes to Constantine. So I'm actually interested to see how this progresses now that the script is going to be green light to be written. But once it's done, like I said, it's going to go through the process of being read and reviewed and QC by James Gunn. And I'm sure if he doesn't like it, he's going to tell him go back, fix it up, change it up a little bit, change the story a little bit. Or you might like the script and say, okay, let's move on forward with it. Really no information about if it's going to be part of the DCU or it's going to be kind of like that external universe, as they call it, DC Dark or Elseworld, whatever they're calling it. But as of right now, the script's about to get written, and we'll see. Maybe by the end of the year or end of the summer, we'll figure out exactly where this movie's going to be fitting and if it's going to be greenlit or not. And we finally got some news about the Batman 2 movie. Oh my gosh, finally some news. But not really news, just an update from Robert Pattinson at an award show. He did a quick interview before he walked in, and he basically said, hey, I spoke to Matt Reeves. I know what the story is about. I'm super excited about it. We're going to start shooting towards the end of the year. Wasn't really clear if it was going to be in the summer or in the fall, but I'm assuming it's going to be in the fall or maybe towards the winter, because if you knew that the first Batman movie took place in October. Penguin's kind of October to November kind of thing. So Matt Reeves did hint the movie will be like during the winter time, during the holiday season, possibly during the holiday season. They didn't say it'll be like a holiday type movie, but said it will be during the winter time. So that kind of makes sense, because Batman 2 is supposed to pick up right after the Penguin. So that actually makes sense. And, right now they haven't really said anything about villains. I know some people are talking about Hush, only because the Easter egg that the Riddler put in one of his messages when he was sending him out, trying to get people to understand or figure out the puzzle that he was trying to piece together. But I don't think it's going to be Hush, because Matt Reeves did say something about the movie will go into more of the Wayne corruption, possibly, of Gotham. So I'm thinking maybe Court of Owls. Maybe we get some of that. But we don't know. We have no idea. I'm assuming once they get all the pre-production stuff out the way, they'll start, putting out stuff, kind of like how Matt Reeves did for the first film, how he did like the teaser for the suit and everything, and tried to show some different things about the movie when he was shooting, like the first couple weeks, the first film he did. So I'm actually excited about it. At least we got some information, and it seems like Matt Reeves is on path to get the script done and actually get approved, and then hopefully get a green light so they can start shooting by the end of the year. But it seems like he's focusing directly and only on the Batman 2 right now, and I'm actually happy with that, because if you understand Matt Reeves, he writes slow. He's a slow writer. He wants to make sure everything's right. It's all about being perfection. And some people say he's kind of lazy, but maybe he's just a perfectionist. He just wants to make sure everything's right. He can fully focus and write down and everything that he wants to put in the script. And I think that's a good thing, because you want the film to be very good. You want to make the best product you can as possible. You don't want to rush it. So I actually like that he takes his time. It sucks. It takes him years to make films. And if you understood the first Batman movie, I think it was announced like in 2017 the movie was coming out, and then it come out five years later. So that's pretty much on par of Matt Reeves making films. So it usually takes him like 5 years to make a film. And if this one does well, hopefully we don't have to wait another 5 years to get 3. Maybe he'll write 2 and 3 together, and they'll go back to back shooting. We'll see, because James Gunn wants to get his Batman into the DCU. So I know James Gunn doesn't want to wait that long, but we'll see what happens, what he does. But other than that, I'm excited that we got something. At least we know, everything's on path to getting shooting done, or at least started in the later part of the year. And the last piece of DC news this week is Daniel Craig is leaving the Sergeant Rock role. Reported by the Hollywood Reporter. They didn't really say why Daniel Craig is leaving. They didn't say it was anything specific. I'm assuming it's basically because of a scheduling conflict. But if you know about the Sergeant Rock fiasco, it's been going on for decades, and to the point where Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger was also named as Sergeant Rock years ago to play Sergeant Rock in a movie, and they just could never get the script right or get a green light. So it's very interesting that DC is still trying to get this movie out, and still not sure if it's going to be in the DCU or it's going to be elsewhere. I'm assuming it will be in the DCU. Maybe we'll get G.I. Robot in the film. If you watch Creature Commanders, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But right now, they have a couple of candidates. One of the top ones that they mentioned already was Jeremy Allen White from The Bear, and I think that's a pretty good way to try to do this movie. I was kind of concerned a little bit once they said Daniel Craig. I know he's a little older, and I was kind of hoping that if they did do a film like this, it would be someone in their prime, not like towards the end of their career. And I think they can actually do something more action-based, more story developing, character developing with someone like Jeremy Allen White, who's a little bit younger, could play the role. Maybe you could do 1 or 2 films with this if the first one does well, and you actually do like a whole origin film with him, and actually try to do some more films that he does well, and maybe he could pop up in other films too. We don't know, timelines all over the place for DCU right now, and they can actually do films whenever, and I kind of like that. You're not stuck in that one period piece where Marvel is right now. You can actually go back and to the past, you can go into the future, you can stay in the present. So they can do movies like this in the universe, because that's how they're setting things up, and I like that, because you're not stuck and pigeonholed to follow the one track way. So this could be good. Let's see who they pick. Jeremy Allen White is a good actor, and I think if they don't pick him, I have confidence they'll find someone who can play this role really well. And let's see if they could finally get a Sergeant Rock movie in the theaters or something. Let's see. And finally, we end everything with some Marvel news, leading off with Spider-Man 4. Screen Rant posts something that the Insider as their source, saying there'll be some characters in the next Spider-Man movie. Now, take this for a grain of salt, because sometimes the Insider is right. Sometimes the Insider is completely wrong. So take this a grain of salt. And the reason why I say that, because the people that I'm going to say, you're like, yeah, I can see them in the Spider-Man movie. That makes sense, because Spider-Man is street level character. So are these people. Something that happened in another movie that's in this movie, I can see that. That makes sense, because it happened in the comics. But the last person is like, yeah, all right, that's the rumor. That's the grain of salt. I just don't see this character ever coming. They've been teasing it for a while. But let's get into it. So the rumor suggests Zendaya will be in the film as MJ. However, she will have a smaller role, as Zendaya has a very busy schedule coming up, especially with Doom 3. So she won't be in the film as much. Charlie Cox is coming back as Daredevil. This makes sense. It's just, Spider-Man and Daredevil has a great relationship in the comic books. It's been in it for a while. They tease it also in the neighborhood-friendly Spider-Man animation. So it actually makes sense to have Daredevil in this movie so he can help him out. The symbiote that was in Venom 2 that got lost and got trapped and never got a chance to go back to the Venom universe is now in the MCU. It has to find its way to eventually getting to Peter somehow. So that makes sense. The last piece of this rumor. Again, this guy does not go away, because everybody wants to put him in everything. And that's Mephisto. Mephisto is rumored to be in this film. I just don't believe it. I just don't understand why we keep trying to bring this guy alive. Can't we just wait for something that makes sense for him to be in a movie? Now, he could be in the Ironheart TV show. We still don't know yet. It still has not been confirmed. People say it has been confirmed. I don't know yet until we get trailers for that TV show showing him on screen. Then I would believe that he's in it. But till then, this is a rumor. Okay, so this, like I said before, I believe everything else but this. It seemed like we always get Mephisto rumors, and we've been getting it since WandaVision, and it's been years. And I'm like, yes, some of these movies, like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, that made sense, but we still didn't get them. Do I see them in this for Spider-Man 4? There's a possibility. Yeah, they can write them in the story, but if we're going for a street level movie, why would we put Mephisto in it? I just don't understand. And granted, this is Sony. We don't know if this is going to be a street level movie. It's just rumored that it's going to be. And then there's other rumors out there saying this is going to be a multiverse movie again, because Sony just don't understand what they want to do with Spider-Man. And they're still trying to get their universe going, but they just need to figure out, hey, what they want to do. So yes, that's what I said. This is a grain of salt. I think they're going to do more ground level Spider-Man movie this time. They could go back to the multiverse. I know Marvel Studios doesn't want that. They want a more grounded level Spider-Man. And it could help with the movie between Doomsday and Secret War. So maybe there's a possibility of Mephisto in it. If you need some multiverse craziness going on, non-grounded film, you could have Mephisto in it. Because it actually is like between a Doomsday and a Secret War. So it could happen. It could happen. I just don't believe it till I see the guy on film. So I'm just going to say that's a grain of salt. Don't believe it. But let's go to the next thing. And the last piece of Marvel news is Marvel is pausing some TV shows that were in pre-production. And a couple of them I didn't even know they were making. But the thing is, they're pausing Nova, Strange Academy, and Terra Inc., which I had no idea they were going to make a Terra Inc. TV show. I feel like that's kind of violent and a lot of body gore, but hey, Disney, bring it on. You want to scare some kids? Let's scare them up. But this comes from, right before some news came out earlier this week and last week that Henry Cavill was in the talks for Nova. So now that's been debunked. And maybe Kevin Feige got whiff of that report and he basically said, hold my beer. This is not happening right now. So no. we're not getting a Nova TV show. It's been put on pause, and it seemed like Feige is trying to get his power back. And if you don't understand what happened, Chapek, when he was CEO at the time, he wanted a lot of TV shows and movies. So he's basically stripped the power away from Feige in order to make more quantity of content. And that's how and why Marvel has been struggling, because they've been trying to push all this content out, because the Disney Plus platform, it was basically made to make all these different TV shows, and Marvel was one of the companies who were trying to produce as much content as possible. And we all can say that Marvel has been suffering ever since that move has been done. But ever since Chapek left, Bob Iger steps back in as CEO. He gave the power back to Kevin Feige. You're actually seeing the things that Kevin Feige is taking back under control. He's eliminating projects. He's taking away. He redone a lot of films and TV shows. You know, he saved Daredevil. There was a lot of news about how Daredevil was not going to be good at all. He actually saved it, so thank God for that as well. But, you know, with the power of Feige, he's putting more focus on Daredevil 2. There's been talks about Aguilar all along, season 2 being started, and also there's been Hawkeye season 2 that's been started as well. So there's been some things that I think that Marvel needs to focus on and work on quality again rather than quantity. And with Feige back in the hell, you can actually see that that's what's going on. And I'll tell you, all Marvel fans, I know this might be an up and down year for Marvel, but you need to focus on certain films and certain TV shows for this year, and everything else is going to be kind of still Chapek project, as I say. And those films is the Daredevil, which is coming out pretty soon, next couple weeks, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. He was able to have complete control of those projects, and actually, like I said earlier, he saved Daredevil from the previous script that they had, and he redone it, and he made him do the whole entire show all over again. So we're actually going to see what he wanted to do. And I think at that time, the Netflix characters were even involved or even canon at that time. And once he got his power back, he said, you know, these characters are canon within the MCU. So you see the power, and you see what he's doing and how he's trying to bring back the quality of MCU, the old MCU from phase 1 and 2 back together again. And we're going to see that. So with those 3 projects, that's the one you base where Marvel is really at. The rest of the projects this year, the other TV shows that's coming out, I would give like a grain of salt. Like I said, it's going to be up or down with those, and you could tell, you know, how those shows are made too. Because some of the shows weren't even made by a showrunner; they were basically chopped up like a movie, and that's why they are edited the way that they are. So let's see what they do with those 3 projects. And I said again, that's Daredevil, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. That's the 3 that we have to look at as the new MCU with Feige having his power back. And we'll see what, you know, how those movies do, and those projects perform. Then we know Marvel's back. But until then, those projects come out, and they come out and have good ratings from the critics and from us, the fans. We don't know if Marvel is back yet, but let's see what happens. But I'm excited about this. You know, let's shrink the pot of the products and focus on quality, and to make sure these products are good TV shows and good movies to bring back that love that we all have for an MCU back to us again. So let's see. But thank you for watching our News Weekly show. Let me know what you guys think about other news we talked about today. Are you excited about these projects or not? Let me know in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you next video. Take care and goodbye.